Alright, so I just finished showing off my little witch fantasy dragon story. Um, that one I started in December, and I kind of petered off around April, May. So around that time, I was kind of fiending for a new story. I didn't know what to do, so came up. I kind of like dug through my archives, and I found another idea I really liked, and I started drawing that a lot in July up till like October. Like June till October, I drew a lot of that stuff. So I'm gonna show you that one now. It's called RUMBL CITY. Here's the first drawing I ever did for RUMBL CITY. Before I knew what it was just like I just wanted to draw like guys with guys in sci-fi tech armor type of thing. This was back in December while I was doing the other story, but I just kind of was like I had like a taste for something else. I just wanted to taste something else for a little bit, and so yeah, of course I'm drawing guys with goggles because that's just like that's kind of what I defaulted to at this for a while. And so this made me think like, okay, I'm clearly like going into my comfort zone. Like I drew a lot of Spider-Man and Robin from Teen Titans a lot, and this design of like eyes that these eyes just make me think of that. I really like this drawing though. It's a good running. It's got a little dialogue. I don't have time for this, dude. Do something. He's like talking to a guy in his headset, and he's like running away, getting shot at. So yeah, that's the first drawings I ever did of RUMBL CITY, and then we're gonna find the new ones. We started to gravitate more. I started to gravitate more towards RUMBL CITY around June. And there's a cover drawing I did, RUMBL CITY. It's like a sci-fi robo fighting story. They're like guys that get suited up in like super, superhuman, armor, and they fight each other in the ring. That was the concept at first. Was like these guys. It kind of still is. The story became less about people fighting each other, and I started to develop an actual story. But yeah, definitely started out with this concept of like you know people getting in a ring and like wrestling, kind of like WWE-ish, the idea, or boxing. Kind of made me think of boxing, so I was drawing a lot of like fighting and running. And so here's more drawings. There's RUMBL CITY. There's a character. This is one of the first times. I don't think this is the first time I drew him. I don't know where the first drawing I did of this guy is in a different sketchbook. Actually, I know where it is, but I don't know where that sketchbook is. But anyway, here's some more just like I started to realize that I want to draw people in places, talking and doing something instead of just standing around like this. Like this just doesn't mean anything. This doesn't mean anything out of context, really. So I started to just like I started to put characters places. There's like here's in an apartment. They're on a couch. They're eating noodles. They're in a place. They're doing something. They're being together. Or they're just like they're going somewhere. Anyway, so here's some more. Here's some. I'm starting to like get a feel for what I wanna. For the design of the suits. This is like he's putting on the suit like he's in the locker room. Like I know he's suiting up. I know he's suiting up, but I kind of feel like right now that I wish I'd drawn him in a locker room because it would be more clear. It'd be a lot more clear. What he's doing in that moment. So yeah, here's some drawings of referees, like a shoutcaster guy. Some dialogue. There's a ring, and they're just hanging out and laughing. And I started to develop this guy a little more, give him tattoos, give him like kind of figure out what he's gonna wear. So I like this idea of him wearing like a hoodie, like a pullover hoodie, no zipper that's that's like baggy, but or like he's so ripped that he has to tear off the sleeves. That kind of classic look of sleeveless buff guy. Here's some pages. Here's some thumbnails I did for page ideas to write. I wrote some pages, and it's actually a funny story. this little excerpt. It's like our main character kind of like he's just starting, and there's like a rookie tournament or something, and he has to fight this little girl. He fights this little girl, and he's like, oh, whew, I thought I was gonna get my butt whooped, and then he gets his butt whooped totally by like a little girl, and then yeah. So yeah, started to design this guy a lot more. I like his like sunglasses plus dreadlocks look. I don't like this like scruffly beard thing. It just looks stupid to me now. Yeah, I really liked it. I started to think of, he wants to wear flip-flop. When I drew him at this angle, see, this is how I design. This is how I kind of approach design sometimes, is I draw what I know I want to see, which is their face a lot of the time. The face of a character, and like their hair, what they're wearing on their face. Are they wearing glasses? Are they wearing sunglasses? Whatever. What does their nose look like? Do they like to smile? Do they like to frown? What's their chin look like? Once I do that, I start to draw them at different angles. I start to draw them. This is a good tip, I think, in general, if you're just starting out, or you're not sure how to think about what to do next, really, like if you think you're limiting yourself, just draw something. If you feel like comfortable, especially people, we like to draw faces. Faces especially are a good place to start. But once you do know what the face looks like, you gotta get out of your comfort zone and start drawing it at different angles and at full body shots. Like I drew his face here. Like this is all in like one sitting. So I was drawing his face. I finished his face, and I was like, okay, I'll draw him doing something else. I drew him looking down, and I was like, okay, he's looking down, and it's small enough. I have room to draw the rest of his body. And so I drew him at this angle, and I knew already that, he's going to have the sweatshirt. I was like, he likes to wear shorts, maybe, you got to think, just try it out. Just draw him at this angle, try out anything, it's just like playing a little game of, like, dress up. Just draw this guy, and then draw him facing a direction, and you have to just draw him at different angles and put stuff on him until if you feel like something sticks. That's just how it is. See, there's like I decided to try a zip up, like you just gotta go with the flow and branch out, kind of attack the drawing at different angles. And this is the end of that sketchbook, and I have another sketchbook full of stuff for RUMBL City. So yeah, I was drawing. This is a strip club kind of place, like a country or a nightclub. I had a scene written out where these guys meet up at a strip club. This story's kind of urban. Here's some design of like a blaster gun, kind of Mega Man-ish, but not. I tried to avoid Mega Man, and so I started to draw this like cage. I thought I started to think of like cage matches because these guys are in superpower human suits. They can't really just fight in the open, so I decided, they're going to be in a cage match. But I didn't want to do just like a square cage, so I started to think about weird shapes and stuff, so I started to fall for this idea of like a hexagon, of a cage being made of hexagons, and so this theme of hexagons kind of stuck with me for a while. Here's more drawings, here's some dialogue. This is basically a comic page right here. This is a page or two of dialogue and shots. So yeah, there's some more design. It's a robot suit. I spent a little bit of time on that. This guy reminded me of Mr. Freeze from the old Batman cartoons. I like the movie. And yeah, this is stuff I drew when I was drinking. I was drinking a lot that day, so those won't count. And then I decided, I'm gonna draw some animals. I wanted to draw some bugs, so I drew this praying mantis. I started looking up praying mantises a lot, and I kind of, because I wanted to draw. I wanted to think of like how to create non-humanoid robots. I wanted to consider the option that they fight in not suits, but in a mecha, in a mecha. They're like in a vehicle basically, but I didn't want to just draw like cars or guys, kind of anime-ish, like humanoid mechas. I wanted to try animalistic ones instead. I didn't really go too far with that idea though. Here's some more designs. I was kind of getting a feel for the helmets. The helmet was like really vague because I had been drawing a guy with goggles, and just you see their hair, you see their whole head, but I was like, wait, no, the feel like a helmet would be more appropriate. Yeah, there's that hexagon again, kind of just throwing out hexagon designs. Oh, my voice. It's so sore. Here's just a bunch of drawings. There's just a bunch of, like, from the story I told you about with the little girl. He's fighting the little girl. And, you know, I like just, like, the action, you know. They're running, she's shooting him from afar. You gotta do you gotta do angles like that. And, because it has a certain effect, so I was practicing that a lot. Her name's Isabella. I like this little drawing of her. They're like, yeah, she's like, fuck yeah. They're like introducing her, you know. Give it up for Isabella. She like comes out of the door and she's just like, rock on. She's like, yeah, and like the crowd loves it. I like that idea. And then I had this concept where she like throws little mines around. She's like in the ring and she like throws around these little bombs. And then I started thinking, you know, what is this place gonna look like? Here's some designs for the stadium, you know, the what it looks like on the exterior. So yeah, I started drawing places. I started looking up stadiums, and so I drew this one. I like this one, and I really like these two. These two are good stadiums. Kind of like abstract, you know, kind of not just a dome, if you will. So yeah, I was drawing the suit, considering what it would look like different if it was a female. It's kind of funny, you know, here's a helmet with ponytails sticking out, like pigtails. And that's kind of stupid now that I think about it. It doesn't really make sense, but it's hard to differentiate a woman in a helmet and a man in a helmet. And that would have to be like a part of the story, you know. Like if you want people to know that it's a little girl, it's pretty hard to make it purposely. It's pretty hard to purposely design a helmet to make it look like not just like a ambiguous. So there's a character I drew, kind of a skis, you know, a scumbag. There's the bombs I was talking about, little mines. She like lands them around, drops them around. She like poof, 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 bombs away. You know, she like. And yeah, just drawing characters. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of writing actually, you know, goes into these these sketchbooks. Like a lot of indirect writing, like places. Like I'm figuring out where certain scenes should be. Not really like where certain scenes should be, because I don't actually have scenes in mind. I'm just like coming up with places that I think stuff might happen. You know, like there's a, you know, they're you know, they're athletes, so I figured, you know, they gotta go to the gym. So there's a good chance you can write a scene in a gym. And then I started thinking of an idea where the main character works at a gym and he's like their towel boy and everyone treats him like crap. And he wants to quit his job. And so he enters the RUMBL City, and there's a really cool drawing I did of like some sort of kind of the idea I was talking about. This is kind of like the final boss type of look. And there's, yeah, see, there's the mantis. This kind of stemmed from the praying mantis idea. Yeah, so more suit designs. Got like a shoutcaster. Some dialogue. And then I came up with rules and like how the game works. So let's see. First rule is that you either just like hit them in the core. You hit them in like the core. It has like certain amount of. It has a certain durability that it can only take so much. Like you have like a shield or something, and like if you break it, then your suit powers down, and like it's too heavy. You know what I mean? Like it becomes like dead weight, and you just fall to the ground and you lose. Or you just get knocked out, ring out, you know, you get hit out of the cage, which would be intense because this cage is specifically designed for this game to hold them in. And then there's like maybe a timer, like a round-based system, like in boxing, where like you have certain rounds, you have a certain number of rounds, and then you land certain blows, and then you get points at the end. So I was just brainstorming, really. There's Isabella again. She's like, stand still, you little mongrel, which I think is a weird design, weird word choice, mongrel. I don't think that really fits the theme, but anyway. And then he goes flares, and I totally thought of Iron Man. I was like, oh my god, why would I even write flares? I know it's not. There's him getting shot at, and he's like running around trying not to get shot.